The purpose of this study is to evaluate the effects divorce has on children. The literature review conducted looked at the emotional, social, academic, and behavior effects divorce has on children in these situations. After a thorough review, it is clear that divorce has negative and some positive effects on children, and the incidence of divorce continued to rise throughout the decades. To the test findings, I had a 10-question survey on the effects of divorce was conducted at random. The questions were designed to find out if the individuals from divorced homes are still more relevant. The survey also looked at how divorce affected the individuals from an emotional, social, academic, and behavioral standpoint. It is hypothesized that the proportion of the individuals from divorced families will be higher than those that have parents that are married. It is also hypothesized that children of divorce suffer negative consequences. The results of the survey supported both of these hypotheses. During my research project, besides the literature review, I did, like I said, a survey with 50. I did with 10 questions, but I had to do with 50 people, so I had to do 50 surveys. And for me to do it in a timely manner, I had to do two ways. I did electronic way, which I did via Facebook on my Facebook page, and I also did a hard copy, which individuals had to do, face to face. So the results from each one of those was that 68% from divorced homes was from divorced homes, while 32% was from parents that are still married. 50% of those was ranging from ages 1 to 12. And it coincided with my literature review because in my literature review it stated that 1.5 million children that was affected with divorce was between the ages of 1 to 18 years of age. So it kind of coincided with my literature review, what I did for my project, for my surveys. And it also in my surveys it stated has that 67% was females and 34% was males that had experienced the divorce. Okay, 44.1% had negative effects. Therefore, out of the 50 surveys that I did, 44.1% had negative effects, while 26.5% had positive effects. So, as in my literature review, it also, like I said, it coincides with the literature review. It just gives me confirmation of my literature review that even though divorce is seems to be like a bad thing in families, it also has positive effects on children also. Okay, and it also states that 64.7% of parents that didn't tell their children they was getting divorced. Okay, it also stated in my literature review where that when when I was reading the books, most of the kids stated that they didn't even know that the divorce was gonna happen. The parents just all of a sudden just divorced, and they didn't know why. They didn't get sit down and talk to. And I feel like that's very important for the parents to sit down with their kids and talk to them and let them know exactly what's going to happen, so they won't be surprised and they will be more prepared on what's about to happen. Because getting a divorce is a major change in a family, especially for younger kids, because they are so used to two parents, and then all of a sudden one parent leaves and they don't know what's going on. So I mean, and I really think that most of the kids that was not prepared, that did not teach, I mean, tell their kids about the divorce, them was the ones most likely was affected negatively. Okay. 35.3% felt like they was neglected because of the divorce. While 23.5% felt stressed. They was stressed out. They was very emotional, in an emotional state. 17.6% felt happy and relieved because their parents was like very always arguing, fussing every day. I mean, it was an everyday routine. So when they did divorce, they was kind of happy about it and relieved of all the fussing and arguing that their parents put them through. After doing my research and my project with my surveys, I find it is very important for the parents to talk to their kids about divorce. When they're getting ready to divorce, they need to sit these kids down and really talk to them about the situation, because you never know. They are Parents always look at themselves. They don't take a look at what the child will have to go through, what the child is gonna face in the near future. When you put a major impact on a child's life, it goes far beyond the childhood years. It would affect their social life. It will affect their relationship with their individual mate in the long run as they get older. It would affect how they would treat their spouse and their kids when they become, adults and get their own family. To get their own family, I feel like this was it was very important to me, because I feel that every child needs that um, they needs that emotional state where if their parents gonna get the divorce, okay, you cannot control what your parents gonna do, but you can control how it is told to your child. You don't just decide, okay, me and you finna get a divorce, and that's gonna be set. We are not thinking about the kids. We thinking about me and you. We're unhappy. We finna divorce. Children don't have to know about nothing until it's said and done. That will affect a child emotionally, academically, behavioral, will have a problem. That's why a lot of kids have be just like what they call the children that real bad. They just like they become juvenile delinquent. That's why we have a lot of juvenile delinquents now, because of broken homes, parents not there being supportive to the children. And I just really feel that that this research that I have done has opened my eyes up to a lot. It was a lot that I didn't know that I know now. I didn't even know that 1.5 million kids within the age ranging from the ages 1 to 18 go through divorces and have a major impact on them. And I did not know that majority of the negative effects come towards the males. A lot of females, as I did my research, it shows that had more positive effects on. I don't know if it's because of the father not being around with the son when while they're growing up, and it's not a father figure in the home. So, because mothers can only do so much with a son, it has to be a father figure somewhere. If it don't matter, if it probably don't have to be the biological father, but it has to be a father figure somewhere, because a mother cannot raise a son alone. Likewise, a man cannot raise a daughter alone. They're gonna have to have them two connections. Two parents gonna have to always be in a child's life. They don't have to stay there, but they have to be in that child's life. And that concludes my presentation. And I would love for each and every one of you to respond. And I hope and pray that I did my, good on my presentation. And thank y'all for listening. And I really, really enjoyed doing my project. And I would like to say that I'm glad I had the privilege to take on this question, because it's always been a question in the back of my head that I always wanted to know about. And I feel kind of relieved and everything about the project. So I know it benefited me, and I hope and pray that it benefit other people, because I know it's somebody out there that's going through a divorce with their parents, or even if it's them going through a divorce. Maybe I'm reaching out to a parent that really didn't realize that how very important that it is to be able to sit down with your children and talk to your children about your decision. Because when you make that decision to break up a home, it don't only affect the two individuals that actually making the decision, it's gonna affect the whole family. People don't realize that the children is